of the Bright Side Show. As always, I'm your host, Steph, and I'm here with my beautiful wife, Crystal. How are you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good.
That's good to hear. It's good to
How about
hear.
you, sir?
I'm alright. I'm alright. It's just two of us today. It's kind of like a mid-season thing.
Little check-in.
Yeah, a little check-in. But before we get to that, we got to do our segment that we call "What in the World," where we talk about a current event that makes people say, "What in the world?" So I know that you saw was it the Maryland teacher?
Oh, was he from Maryland? I don't even think I
Yeah, yeah. I
realized
think it's
where.
like PG
Okay.
County Schools or something like that. But the Maryland teacher who I guess got in trouble for posting his kids on TikTok, taking his hair
Braiding
out.
his hair.
Yeah,
People are in
yeah,
an uproar about that.
yeah. What's your thoughts before I say what I'm gonna say? Whatever.
So I watched the video, and the video does not look how I feel like some of the comments are portraying it to be. Um, Really quickly, people did try to sexualize it. However, I would not want my daughter to be unbraiding her teacher's hair, especially a male teacher. It's just,
Yeah.
I feel like there's just like certain boundaries, and I think my question is, why was it necessary? Like, I totally understand the
hmm
need to, to want to engage with your students, but there's other ways to do that.
Yeah.
It just seems, although I'm sure his intentions were good, because I looked at like some of his other videos and he does stuff like this.
Yeah.
But the braiding, unbraiding of hair is just a little too intimate, and I don't think it's really appropriate for that setting.
Yeah. So I had like I guess mixed feelings because on the one hand I'm like I'm damn sure not letting my kids doing that. Like if I saw that and especially posting it on social media, like my
Yeah.
kids ain't content. You gotta
That I wondered. I see that he posts, like, he has other videos where he
yeah,
posts, and
nah,
it makes me
that's
wonder,
cool.
is
But
that
my kids is not content.
Even okay. Yeah.
Cause especially I wonder like how I'm assuming based on like the way he was talking, he probably got permission from the parents to do that.
that's what I read too, that he just had the parents were
But
aware and they're cool with it, but
nah.
No
Well,
teacher should
I
be.
I no, because if my students were with somebody I knew, then that's different.
Mm,
Because I say like, I say it in this context. Granted, it would be outside of a school, but inside of a school, like nah, don't post my kids. But on the other side of it, I guess where my mixed emotions comes in at is because working in a school and especially with black students, I feel like almost unintentionally you build a community with those kids,
mhm.
and you do fill in roles that might seem as like familiar, like you said, father figure, something like that.
Yeah.
Um, but even for like myself, I mean, I never had like kids playing in my hair, nothing like that. But on the other side, like if a student asked me to like fix their hair or something, I'd do it real quick, but I'd leave it at that. Like it wasn't, and I surely wasn't posting it on social media or like glamorizing and glorifying it, whatever.
yeah.
Uh, so that's why I'm like, I think you when you build community though, I think that type of relationship is capable of being formed. And again, I didn't watching the video. I ain't take it as like sexual or nothing like that. Um,
I still think some boundaries were crossed though, just because I do think it's important that kids recognize that someone in that position is not their friend.
yeah,
And
yeah.
it almost seemed a little too much. Like, he talked about they were like his little homies.
So
And it
that's
just, I get it, but you're their teacher. You don't have to be
so I about to say
They're homie.
so in that I think it's always like I said when they calling each other besties. That was what I really was like. Nah, we can't do that. And the fact that like students had his number to text him after the fact, can't do
That's
that.
weird.
Um, I say when I was teaching, I did have like the students where it was like they were striving to be part of like Mr. Matthews Young Bulls, and it was really just like whenever I feel like going down to the cafeteria, we eat in the classroom. Like I go to the store and buy everybody like a bag of chips or something like that.
But that's young men.
Yes,
And
but
that's cool.
also
It's like you
I
being
think
like a mentor.
I'm about to say, but for me, the dynamic was always like y'all my youngins.
Yeah.
We not on no same level. We not homies.
Right. Like you like the OG.
Yeah, like we not like we not that. So
Right.
yeah, we had like I said our little group, Mr. Matthews Young Boys. So that was like another thing. Like I think it was the other stuff that I think I had more of a problem with than the actual act. But I think that it's important. Kind of what you were saying, like even if you're a parent that like did that, I would like even if I gave permission to like the girls to do something like that because like I don't know, you build a relationship with the teacher or whatever. I think I would still have to like check in often with them to see what is happening with that relationship, kind of like on a daily, weekly basis.
Yeah.
Because I think it's very.
You just can't trust everybody. Unfortunately, we live in
Yeah.
that world, and like I said, his intentions may have been good. I mean, he seems like a decent guy, but you have to be cautious sometimes in what you allow because children don't know better.
Yeah.
And I think the number one type of people that are like, abusing and taking advantage and try to groom young people, it'd be people that they trust.
Yeah.
And they're building that trust. So not that he was, that was his intentions, but
You just never know. So I just would
No,
not
that's
for that
that's a fact.
whatsoever.
And that's why again, that's why I'm like, even if it's trust there, especially like I said, I mean, in those situations, I feel like you hear about teachers and stuff.
Way too often.
Yeah, and like I said, I've seen it happen. Unfortunately, be close to a situation where it's like something you thought was innocent end up being something different. Um, and it's unfortunate, and that's why for me, like I think the check-in would always be very prevalent in that, like, well, one just in general, but I think especially something like that where it's like, let me see, like what y'all actually be doing. And that's why I'm like, I'd be having conversations, if not every day, at least once or twice a week, seeing like what y'all doing, because
I too gotta say though, one thing that I was like confused about is some people who were in support of it, they were saying like, you wouldn't say this if it was a woman.
Duh. I don't understand what don't y'all understand about how this dynamic just looks a little weird that it's young girls with a man. So no, of course, if it was a guy and he's getting his hair cut by his students, I mean, well, first of all, this is not cosmetology school anyway. So this is not the appropriate setting. But it's going to be more palpable, whatever the word is, if it's of the same sex, obviously. So I was just when I was reading those comments, I'm like, are
I mean,
y'all stupid or y'all dumb?
but the thing is,
Because
I mean, same sex abuse happens.
it does. But how can they not think why people would
Oh,
be
saying like don't
okay with it
understand. Yeah,
being
yeah,
same
yeah, yeah.
sex?
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean,
come on here, people? But
yeah.
people are gonna have their thoughts. I just know it wouldn't be my kid.
Nah, I'm about to say
And
it wouldn't be my
that's
kid for neither gender.
that.
I don't care who your teacher is.
Yeah.
Um, y'all not doing hair unless, like I said, unless your teacher is like my brother or something like that. Like if Maddie ends up in Uncle Christian's gym class, sure, playing his hair. But other than that, nah, we ain't doing that. Cause I like I said, you can still be close without crossing boundaries.
There's other ways for sure.
Um, and like I said, to me, the biggest thing was like I said, you gotta be checking in with them kids, and that's why I guess takes us to today, where it's like, we wanted to come mid season and check in with each other. Um, one of the things that uh, I don't want to say realized, but I do think the topics that we're talking about this season have been a little heavier than last season.
Absolutely.
Um, yeah, like I think we're peeling back layers, which I think is good because I think it shows growth of how we're growing from season one to season two.
I think it also shows
We're a little more comfortable with
With the tough conversation.
some of the tough conversations. We getting there. We getting there.
So what? Why you say some?
Because I think that I'm not necessarily ready to open up the full box, the full package of everything in, Crystal and Stefan's life and stuff
I'm,
like that. Maybe one day we'll get there,
oh
but
yeah,
take
yeah.
it one day at a time. But I mean, even like the last episode we just shot with the talking about fatherhood, lack of that, and and that was tough. So
Yeah,
one day at a time.
yeah, yeah. I mean, it's tough, but I do feel like with all the episodes that'll come before this episode, I think there are conversations that need to be had, but I think they go unspoken. And I think a lot of times, uh, because of the subject matter and just because of the community we're in, we just kind of jump past it.
Yeah.
So for like with the fatherhood thing, I think with those things, it's just kind of like you talk about it in jest, and then you just jump to the next thing. Like
Yeah.
you're like, it happened, sucks. Let's move past it, get over it. But we don't ever like talk about it, especially if like your people around you aren't going through the same thing. Um, and then same thing with like like I said, the singleness, where it's like you talk. I think people just view people as being like, oh, you are single, and just leave it at that. Like you don't go into the um, nitty gritty of like how you're preparing for the next relationship and things of that nature. Uh, like I said, the fertility stuff and children. It's like you don't. People just kind of be like, oh, like when if it gets to the point where it's like, oh, like everything worked out. I think most people just look at it as like, thank God it worked out, and
Yeah.
you keep it moving.
Yeah.
Like you don't actually get into like the
The emotions.
yeah,
The way that
yeah,
you felt.
yeah. So that's why, cause so I'm like, so that's how you feeling with that? Cause to me, I'm uh, I think I feel challenged in a sense of as we're opening up more, it's kind of like putting me in position like, damn, like you have to open up some more. I guess it's being like, oh, like we really about to have to start talking about stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of in a space of like, dang, like how do you do that? So that's why I'm like, I was interested with you because, like I said, just knowing our dynamic, like I said, you feel it a little more when we talking about stuff like that. So I was saying like, how does that feel with you?
Well, what do you mean by feel it a little more?
So uh, I guess for myself, I have a tendency to if it's a heavy topic, I might talk about it in jest, or I might just kind of just be like, oh, it happened. I will push this to maybe the back, or and that's my way of processing and dealing with it and being like, let me move past it.
I feel like I can do the same thing. But I think the difference is I'm just a little more emotional.
Emotional.
So that's what I mean though. Like you
And I think
you feel those feelings.
I feel those feelings, but I think the way that I handle um I guess trauma or just like difficult things that I just don't want to really think about too much is like you. I just like it happens. You you think about it, you put it in the back of your mind, and I think it's kind of like a defense mechanism, at least for me, where it's like I try to convince myself that it doesn't bother me that much. So you just kind of compartmentalize your feelings and you just lock it away. And then because you're not dealing with it, when you start thinking about it again or having conversations where now you have to talk about your feelings, at least for me, it's like that's when I get emotional because it's like I haven't dealt with these feelings.
Yeah.
So it's like I try to psych myself out like this don't bother me. But then if I actually have to talk about it, I'm like, shit. Excuse me. I'm like, damn, this hurts.
Yeah.
And clearly I have some healing to do. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah. And I about to say, I think, so I say for me, I used to do the like put it away and then think about it and be mad again. But now I think what I try to do now is, especially if it's with a person that I know, I think I just kind of like be like, all right, it's been addressed, and like, if you talk through it, then it's like I can't do anything about this. Like, there's literally nothing I can do to change this. This thing happened. This person is who they are. This is what it is. I think it's accepting it and moving forward. Um, and that honestly, it kind of brings me into like, ironically enough, So recently we started we got a grant to start the stress management program with Harvard Medical School.
Well, we didn't get the grant.
Well,
we
the
ain't get
grant
no
was the
money.
grant was given, and it allowed us to take part in it.
It was given not to us, it was given to.
Yeah, not to
Okay.
us. I didn't say that. I'm just
I'm about to
saying.
clarify. People be like, "Oh, y'all got money?"
No, not yet.
Damn,
But-
who the hell? Who's gonna ask you for your grant money?
Y'all got a grant. Let me get
Damn,
some. No,
that's what I'm saying.
it ain't that.
Right.
The PPP though. Ricky, you a fool.
Man, no, we
I just
we
wanna
broke. We ain't got
clarify.
nothing.
But
We ain't got
anyway,
nothing.
we were
Yeah, we were blessed because a
blessed to
grant
be
was
able to take
given,
advantage.
and
Yes.
and we take advantage of, like they
of the
said,
program. Yeah.
the stress management program
Mhm.
with conjunction with the Harvard Medical School,
Mhm.
which is they
Nigga said
hoity-toity.
Harvard.
Yes, yeah, exactly. So, but during that program,
Mhm.
I think it 'cause we actually had a session today, and I think it's given us like tools in order to actually think tools and language to help like confront those things.
Yeah.
Um, and really try to like what we literally talked about today, where it's like acceptance and problem solving,
Mm.
and it's like accepting that thing happened, but that doesn't have to be the end. It's now problem solving. Like, how do you move forward?
Yeah.
So that program is really helping, and I find it. It's not ironic. It's honestly, it's like probably it's God, honestly, that it like that came around as we are doing, like I said, picking up season 2 of the show and picking up more responsibilities and things of that nature.
Yeah.
Because like I said, even just looking at it, it's like going from like let's say our check-in from season 1. I felt like it was like, oh, like I felt like we were still kind of like getting nervous and like dancing around, like, oh shoot, what do we talk about, whatever. Because I feel like not like I think season 1 went well, but as we're doing this, it was like, oh shoot, like it almost just feels more like a responsibility.
Yeah.
To do more and be better at kind of sharing. Like I said, talking about the stuff that we wouldn't normally talk about. Because again, we say like, oh, we talking about all things marriage and family, and
Talking about all
I was about to say, and we getting into like the all things, and we getting into the and family, and it's like, ooh, yeah, exactly. So that's why I'm like, man, it's just crazy though, because even from season one happens, and I don't think that doing season 1 caused these things, but I think that if we look at it as like, all right, God put it on us to do the show to begin with. It felt like by being obedient in that, everything just kind of picked up, because immediately, like, we do season 1, and then we get more responsibilities with like the marriage ministry stuff.
Yeah.
That picked up like crazy. Like, yeah,
Like,
that picked up like crazy.
2024
Yeah.
coming up.
And then we get responsibilities with UCB. Like, we never been, now we got that. And even
Another marriage
yeah,
organization.
yeah.
Yeah.
But it's like you take that stuff, the skills and stuff that you learned from season 1, and then now it's like, oh, nah, you thought you was about to just stay just on like podcast. Nah, nigga, you gotta go out.
This is like impacting, and you're right. Even personally, I mean, outside of like the marriage ministry, I feel like doing this has given me, I think, more confidence at work, because it's a lot more talking. I mean, I've had to do like a lot of talking at work, but I think it's given me more confidence in what I'm saying. And then like making sure that I have a presence, and I feel like it's definitely benefited me because now I have a new job. And thank you.
Well, I say ooh like I ain't know.
Right, like you, the shock face though. Like, what? I appreciate it. I appreciate the energy, babe. But
That was stupid as hell.
that was really dumb, but it's all good. But yeah, like
Oh man.
I feel like I don't know. It's like I just feel like I have like this renowned sense of purpose, and that it's more than. I mean, it's more than just a show, but I feel more. I don't know, intentional about like everything that I'm doing.
Mm.
Even like with work, I feel like that helped me get my job is like my presence, my feeling like more confident that like I know what I'm saying. I have something to offer. Um, yeah.
So
Yeah.
so I think that's decent just because of I think it speaks to what I think I hope that people get from watching this show
Mhm.
is like really like walking in obedience, and it's like not knowing what step one, like not knowing that step one's gonna lead to step two.
Mhm.
You know it's gonna lead to something, but you don't know what, and you
Yeah.
don't know how it's gonna look.
Yeah.
But it's like I need you to be obedient here because obedience here is going to carry you through, and it's going to
Mhm.
give you the grace and
It's
the
gonna open
fortitude
up
to go
doors
through
and all
whatever
that
like that
stuff.
next thing is.
Mhm.
And like I said, I guess I do feel that though in myself. Um, Looking at it from a standpoint of like you can't like sit on like gifts and talents and things of that nature.
Mhm.
Um, because I say I question because I don't know if I doubt I would have done it. But like recently when I like presented the paper that I wrote at the Philadelphia Theater Research Symposium in conjunction with the
Did
National Black
what?
Theater. Chill out, man.
Did you, Ricky? Did you? Sorry.
Yo, you knew. It's not. Nah, it's not no flex. It's literally
It's a
like
flex.
nah, it's not.
Boy, you better.
I'm just speaking what happened. But it's like I don't think I would have.
Okay, humble pie. Mhm.
I don't think I would have done it if I wasn't kind of on this like thing of like, all right, let me actually use the things that. Because I'm like, even with that, like, I'm like, I don't talk at conferences and I don't talk in front of people or even, um, because really it's like, it's research based, but it is like, I'm basing the research off of like a feeling, a theory off what I had.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't be really sharing my opinion like that. I just let people talk and I take it for what it is. But I don't often share how I'm feeling in that moment and so it's like, but um, after doing it, I was kind of like, dang, like, it felt like another one of the moments of like, all right, you're supposed to be obedient and do it.
Mhm.
Cause even when I saw like the posting, it's like submit your papers, and I'm like, man, I ain't doing that. And then it goes to, all right, I'm gonna just submit it and see what happens.
Mhm. Right.
And I think that even like be like, oh, see what happens, almost is like you don't take into account where it's like if you get accepted, you have to go do it then.
Yeah.
And so
I think when you do that, part of you feels like you might not get it.
yeah,
And it's a way because I did that at work, my old job, but I don't want to cut off your story, but I do feel like you think that way so that if you don't get it, you
you're
don't
not getting
feel
your
like
expectations up. You
yes.
like, all right, yeah,
Yes.
didn't get it, dang,
Right. Yeah.
it wasn't me anyway. Like
Yeah. Right.
that's the
Exactly.
joint that I kind of got with.
Yeah, that's that psyching yourself out. Like, it don't
Yeah,
matter that
man.
much. I
And
don't
we
know
Why
why
just,
we do that? It's
I,
like a way to protect your
I'm
feelings
about to
or
say
your
it's
I
self
don't know,
preservation
but
in some
yeah.
capacity. But yeah, it was like even doing that, and the crazy thing was even like leading up to it, it was just like it was crazy because I say like I was like sitting on that,
Mhm.
and then when you going through doing like the stuff to prepare it, I'm like, oh, like I forgot that I actually like this. Like I like doing like
Mhm.
scholarly work. I like doing educational work. And I feel like my worldview is just expanding. Because like even when I first went into, I say you first go to Villanova's, like go there for theater, and I'm like, man, I'm just going here to act, and I'm only going to act, and I only want to do that. And then you get there, and it's like I was reminded that it's like I like to and I'm good at writing.
And
So
here
then,
we are.
so that's why I was like,
Mhm.
oh, like nah, I gotta do. I really do like writing more, like, and you start to like open that up.
Mhm.
And then they getting ready for this, it was like, oh dang, like I do like the school part too though. Like I do like because I think it's like allowing me and giving me space to be like, yo, I actually do like these things. And they're things that are not just like, I mean, they all go back to, I guess, what the main motivation was. It's connected to like the acting portion of it, but it's like, man, it's way bigger than that. Like, it's so much bigger than that. Because even in that, yeah, like even in that, like you just, what's it called? Because I guess even from that, like I'm like, all right, well, how do I operate in that, like these other categories too? Because I guess if you got presented with the opportunity where, I mean, I don't know if I'm assuming I do it, but like to get the paper published in a journal. So it's like, dang,
you gotta do it.
and now and it'd be like, dang, like, but it's I think it's when you don't view yourself as something. One, you are limited in yourself if you think you can only be something, and no matter what it is. I think saying like I'm only this, then you're limiting yourself. But I think, and I give, like I said, I give credit to the show and being obedience of doing this, of like kind of unlocking something that's just being like, you know what? All right, let me,
Something that was dormant in you.
yeah, let me just allow myself to be open to do more than what I thought that, like I thought like I'm just go do this, and it's like being open to more of that. Cause like I ain't never think like, yeah, I have papers published. I'm an I'm an academic. Like I ain't no think about that. You should be like, school nigga, you corny. But as you get older, it's like, nah, like that's a part of me too. And I think that and I guess it was like confirmation because I remember, I think like either the day before or day after I did the presentation, like my grandma called me and was like, I don't know what it is, but you know, like God just told me to tell you that like you just gotta be open to do more and open to like be used in ways that you don't think. Yeah.
Recently?
I was the day before, day after the conference. I forget which
Oh
one.
my goodness.
She called
Tell me
me.
that.
Nah.
That was genuine shock, yo. I wasn't.
So she had called me like twice actually, like in that frame, and kind of was on that thing. And I don't know, me and her be connected like that. It's weird, but I know it's real. Because it'd be stuff that like I didn't tell her, and she'd just be telling me. I'm like, okay, this is. But yeah, she kind of was just like, yeah, like you gotta just like allow, like don't limit yourself. And I think oftentimes we do limit ourselves to being like, oh, just this. I'm just that. Um, and I'm probably even doing it right now, even on the episode where I'm like, oh, like nah, it's not an accomplishment. It just happened. Like,
And you do that a lot too.
all right,
Try to,
okay.
diminish your accomplishments or just try to make them seem, not as insignificant as they really are. Everything's a stepping stone to, whatever it is that you're meant to be. So you need to acknowledge those achievements along the way. Doesn't mean you have to gloat. It's not gloating to just acknowledge, like, yeah, I did that.
I think I think part of it was like trying not to be like um boastful. But I also think another part of it, and I literally just thought about it sitting here, is that I think oftentimes we try to downplay so that almost like we don't have expectations for ourselves, and I think that people also won't have expectations for us. In a sense of like, if somebody saw that like you were doing good at anything and like you're progressing, then I think people will assume that like, oh, like the next step is you should be getting to whatever this next level is. Like, I don't know, say if you were a local news reporter, then like I think if people see you progress, they assume that one day you can get to like a level of progression that's like, oh, well now you on Fox 29 every morning. You're doing, like I said, you went from local reporter, now you on Fox 29, or like even doing the show. I think I try to downplay it because it's like I don't people, or I know I for sure did it with acting a lot, where it's like nah, like I wouldn't even tell people when I did stuff. Because it's like, I don't want you to then think like, oh, like, nigga, I seen you. You did good at something. You should be on Broadway. And it's like, I might not ever get there. And I don't want expectations to be that I get there. And I think that it's tough to, it's another thing to learn is like, be mindful of just like being like in this space.
Yeah.
So it's tough, man. It's tough. And that's, I don't know. Cause like, even I say like looking at your stuff where it's like, you were like, you progressed and like, that progression carries you from one job to the next. And it's a promotion, like you're in a higher position where you will have to be like talking and kind of doing more. And so it's like, that's progression. And I think that it's like, the assumption is you're going to keep just, yeah, you're going to keep going up.
Well, I mean, to a point. I ain't trying to be CEO of nobody's company unless it's my own company. But, yeah.
So I guess I have, what, I don't know how to word it, but like, what is where do you think you draw the line on obedience of doing what God called you to?
First of all, you want to take one of these questions from Dr. Harold. I'm sure it sounds like something he asked us.
No, I just started, but nah, I ain't think about that.
With one of these deep questions.
Nah, I didn't even take it. Because what I believe that all the things that we just spoke about, what I think it's all leading to is walking in obedience.
Yes.
And walking in purpose. And when God tells you to move, you move. And if God calls you to do this, then you do it. But it's like, where's the line stop? Is like, all right, you called me here, God. What am I? What's the next?
And when you say, where do you draw the line?
Not where I don't think
like,
it's.
Where do you be like, nope, God, I ain't doing it.
I just think it's like how many steps of faith are you willing to take? Because even like writing, yeah.
I mean,
to be quite honest, I'll take steps until the point where we're homeless. I
ain't doing that. I'm sorry, Lord. I got faith in you, but I ain't doing that. If I have a choice, I'm gonna be comfortable. Okay. But yeah, that's probably
because that's
I need stability. Okay.
I would hope that you wouldn't.
At this point in my life, I think I earned it. I think I worked hard for it. I needs it.
Ooh, you earned. Earned. I was about to say, who's to say you earned it?
Me.
Okay, so by your own standards, you earned it.
For some stability, I think so. I think we all deserve that.
I mean, but is it? So let me. It's not preaching, but it's like, is it?
Go ahead. Go ahead, preach us.
No. Is it stability?
Give us the word. Give us the word.
Is taking a step out on faith and trusting God, not stability? Because you basing it on stability of stuff that you can see, that's tangible.
Right.
Stability that you have created. God led you up to it. But that's why I'm like, who's to say this is God telling you go step out on faith? That's not stable?
Right.
It's literally walking on water. Because you think about it, God tell Peter come out. Water ain't stable.
Yeah.
But it's trusting that you gonna take this thing that I don't know, can't control, and I cannot walk on it, and you telling me to do it. Like, all right. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm saying all this, but if God was on some like, all right, even some crazy stuff, move to Maine. I don't think so, God. Like, it'd be like you know what I mean? Like,
I don't think so.
like I look. That's the truth. I
don't think I heard that right.
Yeah, I'd be like, nah. I think the Trinity, y'all. Yeah, like the Trinity.
Main Street.
Right.
Right.
Trinity, y'all got to come together and make sure y'all speaking to each other before you tell me.
Y'all aligned.
Yeah, y'all got to get on the same page because Maine don't even make sense. Ain't nothing up there. So, and like I said, I'm saying this, not saying that I would do it. Like, and that's the thing. And I think everybody would deal with it. Like I think
But I
that
have
we
my
all.
glasses on.
Huh? What?
I was just like touching my imaginary glasses. I'm so used to wearing glasses. I'm sorry.
Ooh,
But I just
okay.
realized I did that. I was like, girl.
You on that Fenty Beauty? Got the fentanyl.
I'm sorry,
PCP. No, you are. You tripping. You tripping. You picked up drug use? This from season 1 to season 2. Dang.
I'm sorry, continue.
That nose candy.
Sir, don't you dare try to put nothing like that out in these airwaves.
Oh.
Absolutely not.
This is Dare drug free.
Going skiing?
Remember the Dare program?
The Dare program?
Yeah.
I won.
Yo, I be winning like the most random contests as in my childhood, but I won a contest where I think I had like second place. I had to draw a picture for like the Dare program, and I got to go to like Capitol Hill for the day. I don't know, it's weird.
You do be winning some random contests.
Stuff.
Very random. Didn't you win like a trip to Disney World or something like that?
Man.
Or like a bunch of sneakers off the
I
radio?
won the Dare thing.
In high school, trip to Disney World free, and actually, I don't even think I was the initial person that was supposed to win. They picked one person per high school because we had to sell candy bars. It was a fundraiser, and then somehow I got picked. But I think the initial person who got picked, they couldn't go, and I got to go. That was my first time in Disney World, first time on the airplane. I won a whole bunch of sneakers from Power 99 for it was like a Christmas. They used to give sneakers away like 12
yeah.
pairs of sneakers.
But my mom made me give them away.
Damn, what?
Most of them. Because, she be trying to keep us humble. And I'm looking back like, child, you could have did something else. But I got to keep like one or two. And then I gave like random kids in the neighborhood to grandma.
No.
And I could pick any sneakers. She don't know.
No.
But
no.
that I won the photo shoot with Lloyd.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So
you did, cool. Yo, yeah. It was so random.
So many random things.
That's random as hell.
And that was such like a huge sidebar. But
nah,
we're gonna start a segment called Things You Didn't Know About Crystal.
Damn. I would not have gave away those sneakers.
I know you wouldn't have because you're a whole sneakerhead. And I didn't really know. I remember this was like the time of S-Dots. I got like the new like black and pink and G-Units.
Oh,
G-Unit sneakers. I had like it was like a highlighter yellow, like yeah. But then I had to give
everything else away.
Yeah, nah, I would not have obedience would have been my strong suit. Like I think I would have like if I got 12 pairs of sneakers, I'd probably get like one for each of my brothers. Get my mom a pair. I'm at least walking away with 6 pairs of sneakers for myself. Cause that's just ain't no way. And we poor on top of that. You ain't got stuff to be giving away. You not got stuff to be giving away.
Right.
And you're not gonna buy me some new, cause then you're gonna say I just got new sneakers, cause you just got new sneakers from Power 99. Nah.
Oh shoot! And I won. I'm sorry. I'm not gonna talk about.
No, go ahead.
I won tickets to a Trey Songz concert. I remember I took my girlfriend Angie. I just thought about that too. Man, I was lucky. I'm not lucky. I'm not.
Ding ding ding. Man, do you think you see that in today?
What?
That same
being lucky or what? Loved?
Yeah, not lucky loved. Whatever it is,
Absolutely.
that carry on.
I mean, I feel like my life.
There it is. Favored.
What do you say?
Heavily favored.
Favored. Yes. Is that like somebody had on a shirt or something? That sounds like something that should be printed on a t-shirt.
I think.
You better get on.
I think he just knows God.
I like that though. Don't nobody steal it now. Heavily favored, but yeah, I definitely think so because I feel like there's just too many things that have happened that are just like not coincidence. Like too many great things that like it could only be God that have like happened in my life, and it's just so evident that he is real and I'm one of his favorites.
Nah, I'm one of his favorites. Nah, that's real. Cause I guess in that same way of that, like taking it into what do you call it? Like I feel like that's how we even got here. It was like the kind of like
just the way things happen.
Yeah.
Just the order of the steps. Just it's like, really? This is how we got here? Only you. Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm being you.
And that's the tough part. And that's why like I'm even, I guess the thing, taking it back to our original point, knowing that God called you to do whatever. Like I said, I encourage everybody to like really just walk in that obedience because you don't know who you're blessing. And I say for us, like I think for me, going into those things, I think it's kind of like making me more, getting me closer to being able to like say share certain things. Because even like I don't know if we'll do it this season. It might be next season, but like even like talk about the stuff that like from middle school or had to do my 5. That was crazy. But yeah, that kind of stuff that I don't talk about. Um, uh, it's like dang, like who else is man?
The thing that you really don't talk about with that situation, like that's like it's a crazy story.
Mhm.
It's funny. Like
How you mentioned earlier,
I can
you
tell
say
it
things
funny.
out of jest. You
I
say
can
it
tell it
out of jest, but
hilarious.
I know realistically you were terrified.
Yes.
And I know that that's also kind of a source of trauma for you. So it's interesting. Like you
Yeah.
said, you just like you joke about everything. And I think I do that too. You know, you try to just be
Yeah.
Make light out of it.
Because
it
that's
makes it easier to deal with if you can just
like laugh about it.
yeah.
But
And like that's what I said.
that's
It's funny.
serious stuff.
And I guess it's like those type of things. Like it's funny until, like you said, years and years, 20 years later, you driving and hear a story that's related and start having like a panic attack. It's like, oh shoot, like this is still affecting me. It's not funny. Like those kind of
It's not funny.
yeah. So nah, like I'm really just like looking forward to um I'm looking forward to like what we've done. I'm grateful for what we've already done. And I'm looking forward to how the rest of the season will play out. And looking forward to kind of keeping up this walk of like obedience of like, all right, let's see where you're taking us, God, and see exactly where you want us to go, who you want us to talk to, and say what you want us to say, and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm really looking forward to this, and really getting to whatever like even the next level from here is. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it,
Me too.
and I'm glad we get to do it together. So stupid. But yeah, so
I wonder
that's
if he's about that.
could you see our handshake?
You wasn't even paying attention.
oh good.
Our little secret handshake.
Ain't no secrets down camera. But that's all we got for today, y'all. Like I said, we're just checking in. We hope that y'all we hope that y'all are watching, y'all encouraged, y'all inspired to just do whatever it is. Like I said, God's calling y'all to do. Like I said, whatever it is, just really take those steps to just walk in purpose. Because I promise you, you won't regret it, and I promise you that it, even if it is scary, like I said, it will be all worth it at the end.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid of rejection. I think it happens to everyone, but when one door closes, another door opens, and normally that door closed for a reason.
Man, I would say you just don't know what God is taking you, protecting you from, taking you to. So in the meantime, hopefully he will take you to our Instagram page at the Bright Side Show 23 on Instagram. Again, any questions, topics you want to see, anything you want to talk to us about, you can email us at the Bright Side Show 23 at gmail.com. So until the next time, catch y'all. Peace.